Hey, 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 what's up, everybody? Assalamu Alaikum. It's your girl, Coach Naima, guiding you through the mindset, faith, and strategy you need to build a life and a business that you're proud of. Welcome to Unveiled, Real Women, Real Talk, where faith meets fire and business is bossed up. Here, we dismantle mental and emotional barriers, manage those sneaky saboteurs, and create powerful business strategies that elevate every part of your life. Are you ready? Let's rise. All right, so. The problem that nobody talks about. Well, can I tell you something that might sting a little? Well, most women don't need another course. They don't need another planner. They don't need another strategy. What they need is discipline. Yes, discipline, because let's be honest, you already know that you should pray consistently. You already know that you should work on your business consistently, and you already know that you should take care of your health. You already know that you should follow up potential clients because there's funds in the follow up. The issue isn't knowledge, the issue is implementation. And today, we're going to talk about why. So, let's recap our journey through this elevated Muslimah process the last couple of weeks. So, over the last several weeks, we've been building the elevated Muslimah. We discovered who she is. We learned the difference between being busy and being elevated. We strengthened our faith. We exposed our saboteurs and we began becoming her. So, we released old versions of ourselves. We developed confidence, clarity, and calling. And now the question, can you consistently show up as her? Because becoming her isn't one decision, it's 1,000 discipline decisions. All right. So, what's the difference between discipline versus motivation? Well, one of the biggest lessons from our coaching session this week was that discipline is not perfection. Discipline is showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. Motivation says, oh, I'll do it when I feel inspired. But discipline says, I'll do it because I made a commitment. Motivation comes and goes, discipline remains. So let me give you an example. Nobody wakes up every day excited to brush their teeth, yet you do it. Why? Because it becomes a standard, not a feeling. Imagine if we approached our goals the exact same way. Our faith already teaches us this discipline. So, as Muslim women, Allah has already given us one of the greatest models of discipline. Think about prayer, salah. We don't pray only when we're motivated, we pray because Allah commanded it. So, think about Ramadan. We don't fast because it's convenient, we fast because we're committed. Think about seeking knowledge, making dhikr, giving charity. Our faith teaches us something powerful. Consistency builds transformation, not intensity, transformation, consistency, right? So the most beloved deeds are those done consistently, even if they're small. That is a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But many of us are waiting for motivation when Allah is teaching us discipline every single day. Now let's talk about the saboteur because the saboteur wants comfort. Let's connect this back to episode 4. Remember those saboteurs? The procrastinator, the perfectionist, the avoider, the overthinker. Do you notice something? Do you notice that every one of them prioritizes comfort over growth? Well, the saboteur says, I'll start tomorrow. Wait until you're ready. Make sure it's perfect first. Think about it a little bit longer. Oh, I need to tighten this up. But elevation requires movement, not perfection. Movement. So let's talk about the cost of inconsistency. Let's get real. What has inconsistency cost you? Think about it. How much money? How many opportunities? How much confidence? How much peace? How many dreams? Being inconsistent has a cost. Imagine where your business would be today if you had consistently shown up for yourself over the last 12 months. And I'm talking about every day. Imagine where your health would be if you consistently leaned into movement. Imagine where your relationship would be with Allah if you consistently tapped in. Imagine where your confidence would be. The cost isn't always visible immediately, but over time, it's enormous. This is why women keep using these catchphrases. I'm tired. I don't think I can do it. Inconsistency. Well, let's talk about self-leadership. The elevated Muslimah understands something very, very powerful. She understands that before you can lead a business, you must first lead yourself. Before you can lead a team, you must first lead yourself. Before you can lead a legacy, you must first lead yourself. Leadership starts in private. It starts with the promises that you keep when nobody is watching, the promises you make to yourself. It starts with showing up for yourself. It starts with doing what you said you're going to do. It starts with consistency. And consistency requires discipline. What about the systems over willpower? Now, let me help somebody today. Stop relying on willpower. Build systems. Elevated women create systems because systems reduce decision fatigue. Let me say that again. Systems reduce decision fatigue. You get tired of making decisions because you're doing it differently every single time. Build a system. If you want to pray consistently, create a prayer routine. If you want to market consistently, create a content system. If you want to generate revenue consistently, create a sales process. If you want peace consistently, create boundaries. The woman who wins isn't always the most talented. She's often the most consistent. So, the four disciplines of the elevated Muslimah are as follows. I want to challenge you in these four areas. So, number one, spiritual discipline. What is the one thing that you'll commit to today with Allah? What is the one thing that you're going to commit to daily with Allah? Today, starting today, what is the one thing you're going to commit to daily with Allah? Maybe it's salah on time. Maybe it's reading Quran. Maybe it's dhikr. Maybe it's dua. Maybe it's, sitting in the silent and remembering what that ayat means to you and implementing it into your daily life. What's the one thing? Spiritual discipline. Personal discipline. What habits support your well-being? Maybe it's walking, running, swimming, drinking water, biking, journaling. Maybe it's rest. What's the one thing that you're going to commit to for your personal discipline that you are going to do consistently every day? One thing for your personal life. All right? What is the business discipline that you're going to do every day? What is the one thing in your business that you are going to do? What revenue generating activity are you going to do and commit to consistently? Stop starting and stopping, starting. What is the one revenue generating activity that you will do and commit to consistently? Not occasionally, consistently. Is it reaching out to somebody? Is it sales? What is it? I don't know what it is for you, but you need to think about the business discipline. One thing that you are going to commit to when it comes to business discipline, doing it every day, consistently, and holding yourself accountable. And last, but definitely not least, legacy discipline. What weekly action supports the impact that you want to leave behind? What weekly action supports the impact that you want to leave behind? Because you're not just building a business, you're building a legacy. And remembering, it's not for those women that are listening that don't have a business, your life is your business. So, what weekly action supports the impact that you want to leave behind? It's not just a life that you're living, you are building legacy through your life right now. All right. So, let's do an identity shift. Here's the secret. Small actions repeated consistently become your identity. So, when you start thinking about the type of mother that you are when it comes to your children, are you lenient? Are your kids up at 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night? Why? because you're inconsistent. You haven't developed a routine for them and consistently maintain that routine. And now your identity is that you are a sporadic parent. Your children sporadically live in your life. We don't want that. Remember, small actions repeated consistently become your identity, and people will call you out on your identity every single day of the week, whether they're joking or serious. They always tell you how they see you. Always. Your identity becomes your character. Character becomes your destiny. All right. So the elevated Muslima doesn't wake up disciplined one day. She's just like, oh, today I'm going to be disciplined. You know, have you ever saw that movie, The Stepford Wife? She was just everything in order. No, she becomes disciplined. An elevated Muslima becomes disciplined through repetition. One choice, one action, one commitment at a time. One choice, one action, one commitment at a time. She becomes disciplined through repetition. What do you want to repeat every single day, every week? Because every decision that you're making, every choice that you're making, everything that you're doing on a regular basis is developing your legacy. It is developing your discipline, your consistency, your inconsistency, whatever. How you showing up right now is who you are. And if you want to be a different version of you, you have to, again, one choice, one action, one commitment at a time. All right. So let me tell you, do you know that the life and business coaching that I have developed, the membership, it currently exists? Because most women don't need more information. They need implementation. They need accountability. They need support. They need a community that reminds them that this is who you are when you forget. All right. So inside the membership, we focus on faith, mindset, self leadership, business growth, accountability, and becoming the woman that Allah has created you to be. And I want you to be her now. So you can always go to www.ladykhadijahinstitute.com, click on Business Bossed Up. And even for women, if you don't have a business, your life is your business. You need this membership, right? So before we leave this episode, I want you to do something. I want you to grab a journal and answer these following questions. What area of my life currently lacks consistency? What area of my life currently lacks consistency? What has inconsistency in that area cost me? What has inconsistency in that area cost me? What would my life look like if 12 months from now, if I became radically consistent in that thing? Oh my God. You talking about life changing. Again, what area of your life currently lacks consistency? It may be several areas. But what has that inconsistency cost you? Has it cost you your confidence? Has it cost you your pricing on your product and or service? Has it cost you a lack of ability to feel connected to Allah when you make your prayers? Has it cost you relationships with your spouse, your children, your brothers, your mother, your cousin, your friends, whatever? What has it cost you? And what I want you to do is think about, man, 12 months from now, if I decide to choose, I'm going to choose one discipline in each of the following areas. Choose one discipline in spirituality. Choose one discipline in your personal life. Choose a discipline in your business, in your legacy, and commit to it. Commit to that. And after you commit to it, not because you feel motivated, but because you've decided you're acting and you're planning and acting that thing out. And the consistency is daily. And if you're ready to stop starting over and becoming consistent, then you have to sometimes have a community. No, all the time. You need a community around you. You need people to say, girl, you can do it. We're here for you. Not having to re-explain everything to people. Be with a community that knows where you are because they're going through the exact same thing. So join us inside the Life and Business Coaching membership. Because the elevated Muslimah doesn't wait for motivation. She leads herself. She leads her life. She leads her legacy. Oh my goodness. Okay. So next week, in our next episode, which should be episode 9, life is your business. Why you can't separate the two. I've said this over and over and over. Life is your business. Even if you don't have a business, your life is your business. We're talking about how your personal life and your business are deeply connected and why ignoring one is always going to impact the other. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. Okay? So, today, my sister, if this episode spoke to you, then come and get closer. Join again the Life and Business Coaching membership and step into a community of women rising just like you. And don't forget, connect with us in the Facebook community, which is the Womb Group Women Own $1 Million Business, and follow us on all the social media channels so that we can stay connected throughout the week. And that includes LinkedIn. Don't forget to read my weekly LinkedIn newsletter or join my newsletter by going to my website and clicking connect. So before we head out, may your faith stay strong and your fire stay lit. Until next time, Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.